My finger, scrolling through TikTok, froze. On the screen, my wife was in a pristine white wedding dress, locked in a deep kiss with the groom. Sunlight caught the edge of her veil, and a shower of colorful flower petals drifted through the air, all set to a soundtrack of cheering guests. It would have been a beautiful video if the groom had been me. The joke was, I was on a business trip, literally in the middle of debating whether I should surprise her by coming home early. My thumb mechanically hit pause. The frame locked on their kiss. I knew that face so well. I'd seen that smile 1,000 times. Wasn't that Chloe, the same Chloe who'd been on FaceTime with me just yesterday, telling me how much she missed me? No, this had to be a mistake. It had to be. I rewound the video, trying to get a clue, any context. A banner scrolled across the bottom of the live stream. Live from the Grand Astoria Hotel Ballroom. The timestamp was for 2 p.m. today. I played again, this time frame by painful frame. The groom was tall and handsome in a tailored suit. My wife, Chloe, wore a white lace gown, holding a bouquet of roses, her smile radiant. They held hands, their fingers interlaced, and recited their vows before a minister. The scene was all too familiar. 3 years ago, Chloe and I had stood just like that, promising ourselves to each other with a simple, I do. My hand started to tremble, my heart hammering against my ribs so hard I thought it would break through. A cold sweat broke out on my forehead, and the phone nearly slipped from my grasp. Breathe, I told myself. Just calm down. I swiped out of TikTok and pulled up my contacts. I found her name, Chloe, and hit dial. The number you have dialed has been turned off or is out of the service area. The cold, automated voice was a dead end. I tried again, and again. Same result. I switched to iMessage. Our last exchange from the night before was still at the top. I miss you so much, honey. When are you coming home? She'd attached a selfie, lying on our bed, wearing one of my button-down shirts. That was 12 hours ago. My fingers flew across the screen, opening one app after another. Chloe's Instagram and Facebook feeds were wiped clean. Not just private, but empty, scrubbed. I opened my photo gallery, staring at screen after screen of us. She was smiling in every single one, a smile so sweet, so genuine. But now, looking at them, I had to wonder how much of it was a lie. I went back to the TikTok video. This time, I finally got a clear look at the groom's face. Jackson Reed. The name was a knife twisting in my gut. He was the VP of our company's biggest client. The same Jackson Reed who'd been all smiles with me at a business dinner just last month. He had even said, right in front of Chloe, "Ethan, you're a lucky man. Your wife is as smart as she is beautiful." So this was their little game. I collapsed onto the hotel chair, feeling like the air had been punched out of me. My head was buzzing, replaying the video on a loop. This business trip, Chloe had insisted I go. She'd said the project was critical, that it needed my personal oversight. Before I left, she'd even packed my suitcase, reminding me to take care of myself. Now I realized she wasn't taking care of me. She was clearing the stage. She knew this trip would keep me gone for a week, more than enough time to pull off a wedding. I opened my laptop, typed the Grand Astoria Hotel into Google. There it was right on the hotel's homepage, an announcement for today's events. Congratulations to Mr. Jackson Reed, Executive VP of Reed Industries, and Ms. Chloe Miller on their beautiful union. A wave of nausea hit me. I bolted to the bathroom and retched over the toilet, but nothing came up. There was nothing in my stomach. Only tears, hot and uncontrollable, streamed down my face. I splashed water on my face and looked in the mirror. The man staring back was a ghost, his face pale and his eyes a bloodshot red. I took out my phone, opened the video one more time, and forced myself to watch the details. The comment section was a flood of congratulations. What a gorgeous couple. A match made in heaven. So happy Jackson finally found the one. The bride is stunning. Wishing you a lifetime of happiness. Yeah, a perfect couple. My gaze settled on Chloe's face. She was beaming, radiating a kind of pure, unadulterated happiness I realized I hadn't seen in a long time. This was the wedding she'd always wanted. Our 3-year marriage, it meant nothing to her. I slumped against the wall, my mind flashing back through the years with Chloe. We first met in an office elevator downtown. She was juggling a stack of files that slipped. I caught her just before she fell. The moment she looked up at me, I was a goner. She was a recent graduate then, an assistant at a small marketing agency. I was already a senior tech lead, started making a name for myself. Winning her over wasn't easy. I sent her 99 roses. She said it was cliché. I booked a table at a Michelin-starred restaurant. She said it was too extravagant. Finally, standing in front of a late-night food truck, with a smear of chili on the corner of her mouth, she'd said, "You know, Ethan, you're not as bad as I thought." We dated for 2 years. For those 2 years, she was my entire world. I worked my ass off to give her a better life, and soon enough, we had a house and a car. When she said she wanted to start her own business, I liquidated my savings to back her, no questions asked. Watching her marketing firm grow from a tiny startup into a rising star in the industry made me happier than any of my own achievements. I thought we'd be together forever. After we got married, for 3 years, I kept spoiling her. She wanted a Birkin bag, so I scrimped and saved to buy her one. She wanted to go to Hawaii, so I burned all my vacation days to take her. She said she wanted a bigger house, so I nearly killed myself working overtime to make it happen. Thinking back, were all those I love yous, those quiet moments cuddled on the couch, those passionate kisses, was it all just an act? No, it couldn't all be fake. At least the beginning was real, wasn't it? I scrolled through my photo gallery, swiping through picture after picture. From our first date to our wedding, from our honeymoon to random Tuesdays at home. The smile in her pictures, I could see it now, had slowly faded from radiant to forced. I just hadn't noticed, or maybe I hadn't wanted to. Ping. A text message notification. It was an alert from my credit card. "Thank you for your purchase of $26.80 at the corner bodega," right? I was still on a business trip. This charade was still ongoing. I stood up and walked to the window. Below, the vibrant Chicago skyline glittered, a river of headlights flowing through the streets. Once Chloe and I had stood at a window, just like this, dreaming about our future. "Honey, look at all those lights. Don't they look like stars?" she'd ask. "Silly, that's just the city." "So is our love just ordinary, like the city?" "No," I'd said. "Our love is the stars. It's forever." What a joke. I pulled out my phone and opened a voice recorder. "Chloe, you probably didn't expect me to find out this fast. But don't worry, I'm not going to let this go. Not you, and not Jackson Reed. You wanted your fairy tale life in a mansion. I'm going to make you watch that dream burn to the ground. And thanks. Thanks for showing me who you really are. From this day forward, the word mercy is no longer in my vocabulary." After recording the memo, I deleted every single photo of us together. My thumb hovered over my contacts, then found my childhood friend, Mike. "Mike, I need a favor. I need you to run a background check on someone. The deeper, the better." "Who?" "Jackson Reed." There was a pause on the other end. "Ethan, what's going on? I'll tell you when I get back. And hey, find me a PI. The best one you can find. Are you okay, man?" "Never better," I said, a bitter laugh escaping my lips. "I've never been better." I hung up and opened my laptop. As a tech guy, data was my native language. A few minutes and a couple of scripts later, I had the passwords to all of Chloe's social media accounts. Her iMessage history with Jackson had been deleted, but people always leave a trail. I launched a data recovery program and started digging through her cloud backups. At 3 in the morning, I finally found it. They'd known each other for a long time. 6 months ago, Chloe's firm landed a marketing contract with Reed Industries. From that point on, their interactions became more and more frequent. Project meetings, business dinners. All those chance encounters had been carefully orchestrated. And I was the fool, completely in the dark. At that dinner last month, Jackson had clapped me on the back, talking about expanding our partnership. "Ethan, your company's tech is top-notch. It's been a pleasure working with you. We should do it more often." A pleasure? Huh. I guess I knew what kind of pleasure he was talking about now. I kept digging. Suddenly, a photo caught my eye. It was Chloe and Jackson, wrapped in each other's arms. The background was a high-end hotel room. The timestamp was from 3 months ago. I had been pulling all-nighters that week, trying to hit a critical project deadline. She told me she was on a business trip, that I should take care of myself. In reality, she was in bed with Jackson Reed. A sharp pain shot through my chest. I fumbled for the anxiety pills in my bag. The person I trusted most in the world had stabbed me in the back. No, that wasn't even the most ironic part. I opened a folder on my laptop and pulled up a scanned document. The deed to a house. A villa in the suburbs I just bought last month, meant to be a surprise for her. The down payment wiped out my savings and put me deep in debt. I was going to take her there to our new home after this project was done. Looks like that surprise will never be delivered. I tilted my head back and took a long pull from the whiskey I'd grabbed from the minibar, the harsh liquid burning its way down my throat. My phone buzzed. A text from Mike. Got the file. You sure you want to see this now? Send it. A moment later, a detailed report filled my screen. Jackson Reed, 35, executive VP of a publicly traded corporation. On the surface, a self-made success story. Underneath, a complete scumbag. He'd been married twice in the last 6 years. Both marriages lasted less than a year, and in both divorces, his ex-wives walked away with nothing. What shocked me more was that he had 2 kids from different affairs, both kept secret. This is the man you chose, Chloe. This is the love you threw away our marriage for. Pathetic. I opened a notes app on my phone and started outlining a plan. If you two want to put on a show, then I'll be happy to direct the grand finale. And this show is going to be unforgettable. I'm going to teach you both what betrayal really costs. At dawn, I booked the first flight back to Seattle. On the plane, I drafted emails to my team, arranging to transfer my responsibilities. My phone showed 99 plus missed calls from Chloe. It seemed she'd finally realized the cat was out of the bag. I opened my messages, and a flood of texts poured in. Ethan, please let me explain. It's not what you think. Please, just answer the phone. I'm so sorry. I know I messed up. Jackson forced me to do it. I let out a cold laugh and deleted them all. Just then, a new one popped up. Ethan, I'm at home waiting for you. Please, just let me explain in person. I swear, it will never happen again. An explanation? Fine. I was dying to see what kind of story she could possibly spin. After the plane landed, I grabbed an Uber straight home. On the way, I told myself to stay calm. I couldn't let rage cloud my judgment. They had to pay, and they had to pay the right way. The elevator climbed, my heartbeat quickening with each floor. I stood in front of our apartment door, took a deep breath, and turned the key. The door swung open. Chloe was kneeling in the middle of the living room. When she saw me, she scrambled toward me. Ethan, I sidestepped, and she stumbled, catching herself on the floor. Ethan, please, let me explain. I was forced into it. Jackson threatened me. He said if I didn't do what he wanted, he'd bankrupt my company. I looked down at her tear-streaked face and actually laughed. So you married him? No. The wedding was fake. We didn't sign a marriage license, she pleaded, grabbing the hem of my pants. I swear, I only love you. I stared down at her. Really? Then I guess these are fake too. My phone screen lit up, and I swiped through photo after photo. Her and Jackson at the hotel, at a private club, at fancy restaurants. In every picture, they were close. In every picture, she was smiling, looking ecstatic. The color drained from Chloe's face. Where? Where did you get those? That's not important, I said, putting my phone away. What's important is how happy you two look. No, it was all him. Enough. I cut her off. Chloe, do you really think I'm an idiot? I crouched down to her level. You think I don't know that you went after Jackson? That all those project meetings were just your dates? That while I was working late, the two of you were having fun in 5-star hotel rooms? She collapsed onto the floor, shaking her head. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I stood up and walked into the study, opening the safe and pulling out a folder. These are divorce papers, I said, tossing them in front of her. Sign them. No, she cried, wrapping her arms around my legs. Ethan, please, give me another chance. I know I was wrong. A chance. I scoffed. Did you think about giving me a chance when you were sneaking around with Jackson? When you were walking down the aisle with him? Her tears flowed freely. I was wrong. I really was. Hit me. Scream at me. Do whatever you want, just don't divorce me. I knelt again, wiping a tear from her cheek with my thumb. You know, Chloe, I learned something important recently. She looked up, her eyes full of hope. Some people don't deserve forgiveness. With that, I pulled my leg free and walked to the door. And by the way, congratulations to you and Jackson. I wish you all the best. The moment the door clicked shut, I heard her heart-wrenching sobs. I wondered if her cries were as loud as her laughter at the wedding. Outside the building, I dialed Mike's number. Mike, I need you to set up a meeting with a lawyer. You're really going through with the divorce. It's more than a divorce, I said, looking up at the sky. I'm going to make them pay. The weather forecast said rain. I stood on the sidewalk across from the office building, staring up at the darkening sky. This is where Chloe and I first met. It was an overcast day, just like this one. She'd rushed out of the elevator, her arms full of binders, and nearly wiped out. I reacted instinctively, steadying her as her files scattered across the lobby floor. "Oh my God, I'm so sorry," she'd said, flustered, scrambling to pick everything up. "It's okay," I said, crouching to help her. "Here, let me get that." When she looked up, our eyes met. She had these big, expressive eyes and a touch of roundness to her cheeks that made her smile completely disarming. "Thank you," she'd said, clutching the recovered files. In that single moment, I was lost. Looking back, I guess her eyes were expressive. They just happened to be telling lies. My phone rang. It was Mike. "I've got the full report. This Jackson Reed guy is bad news." "Tell me." "On paper, he's a self-made millionaire. In reality, he's got his hands in all sorts of dirty deals. He screwed over his last 2 wives, got them to sign ironclad prenups, then cleaned them out in the divorce." I let out a bitter laugh. "So Chloe was just his next target?" "No, this time is different," Mike said, his tone serious. "He's not after her. He's after you." My grip on the phone tightened. "What do you mean?" "Jackson wants your company's tech. You know how big AI chips are right now, and your firm is at the top of the game. He's been trying to initiate a buyout, but your board keeps shutting him down." I closed my eyes, the pieces clicking into place. "So he went through Chloe." "Exactly. He figured if he could control you, he could get a hold of the company. And the best way to do that was through my wife." I finished, my voice laced with self-mockery. "A brilliant move." "There's one more thing," Mike added. "Chloe's firm just landed a huge new client. They're the main competitor of Reed Industries." I frowned. "Meaning, if this project is successful, it's going to gut Jackson's market share in the advertising space. So he had to get Chloe under his thumb." I sneered. "Kill 2 birds with 1 stone." After hanging up, I just stood there in the rain, letting the cold drops run down my face. It was all a calculated game. I wondered if Chloe even knew she was a pawn. Or worse, if she was a willing participant. My phone vibrated. A number I didn't recognize. "Hello, Ethan. It's been a while." It was Jackson. My voice was eerily calm. "Jackson, how's married life treating you?" He chuckled on the other end. "Not bad. Chloe's a quick learner. Much more accommodating now." My hand clenched into a fist. "What do you want?" "It's simple. Sell me your shares in the company. I'll give you a price you can't refuse." "That's it." "Of course not," he said, pausing for effect. "If you cooperate, I'll let Chloe divorce you quietly. If I don't, then don't blame me when a few intimate videos get leaked to the press. What do you think the headlines will be? Tech exec's wife in cheating scandal, or millionaire heir humiliated by gold digger?" I laughed. "You think I care about that? Maybe you don't. But what about Chloe?" His voice turned cold. "Can you really stand by and watch her reputation be destroyed?" I was silent for a beat. "Give me 3 days to think about it." "Excellent. I'll be waiting for your call." I hung up and sent a text to Mike. "Set up a meeting for me tonight." At 8 o'clock, I was sitting in a private lounge. Across from me was a man in his 50s, impeccably dressed and with a calm, commanding presence. "Mr. Cole, a pleasure to finally meet you," he said, extending a hand. "I'm Howard Vance. Howard Vance, the CEO of Vanguard Corp., the biggest rival to Reed Industries." "Mr. Vance," I said, shaking his hand. "I assume you know why I'm here." He smiled faintly. "I have an idea. I hear Jackson Reed has been rather pleased with himself lately. What's on your mind, Mr. Cole?" I picked up my glass of water. "A partnership." "Oh." His eyebrows rose. "What are the terms?" "Simple. I want to see Jackson Reed ruined." He studied me for a moment. "Is this about revenge?" "No. It's a business transaction," I said, meeting his gaze. "I know you're gearing up for a major project, and you need our AI technology to make it work. Go on. I can guarantee that project's success. In exchange, you help me destroy him." He was quiet for a long moment. "Are you sure about this? It could get ugly." "Ugly?" I scoffed. "Is there anything uglier than betrayal?" As I was leaving, Vance put a hand on my shoulder. "Mr. Cole, Jackson has had this coming for a long time." But what? "Don't let revenge consume you." I watched his car pull away and shook my head. "Revenge? No. This was just balancing the books." When I got home, Chloe was still there. She was curled up on the sofa, looking pale and exhausted. The moment I walked in, she rushed over. "Ethan, you're finally back." I push her away. Shouldn't you be at Jackson's mansion? Why are you still here? I don't want him, she cried, clinging to my arm. I only want you. Please forgive me. Forgive you? I sneered. Do you deserve it? Tears welled in her eyes again. I know I messed up. I really do. Jackson threatened me. He said he'd destroy my company if I didn't go along with his plan. So you betrayed me? She bit her lip. I wasn't thinking straight. Not thinking straight. I yanked my arm away. Were you not thinking straight when you were in his bed? When you were having a wedding with him? No, that was all his idea. She knelt on the floor. I don't love him. I never did. I crouched down and tilted her chin up. Do you love me? Yes, of course I love you. Really? I took out my phone and played a recording. It was a man's voice, one of Jackson's associates. Mr. Reed, she really seems to be in love with you. That guy Ethan is a total fool. He still thinks she actually cares about him. Then Chloe's voice, clear as day, followed by a giggle. She's right. He's just a means to an end. As soon as we get his shares, he's gone. The recording ended with Jackson's laugh. Darling, you're all mine now. Let's not talk about him anymore. The blood drained from Chloe's face. That's fake, she stammered, shaking her head. I never said that. Fake. I stood up. Should I play the video that goes with it? She crumpled to the floor. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry? I looked down at her. You think saying sorry is enough? Then what do you want from me? She looked up, her face a mess of tears. Do you want me to get on my knees and beg? No need. I'll walk to the study. Tomorrow, we're going to the courthouse and finalizing the divorce. No. She grabbed me from behind. I won't sign it. I know I messed up. I pulled away from her. Chloe, do you honestly believe I would ever forgive you? You promised you'd love me forever, she sobbed, her voice hoarse. You promised. Yes, I did, I said, turning to face her. But that was before you betrayed me. Give me one more chance. Just one, she begged, clutching my shirt. I'll do anything. I crouched down again, wiping away her tears. Anything? Yes, she nodded eagerly. Anything you ask. All right, I smiled. Let's make a deal. Her eyes lit up. What deal? You help me take down Jackson Reed, and I'll forgive you. She froze. What? What did you say? It's simple, I said softly. You two are so close, right? Keep playing the part. Be my inside source. Give me the evidence I need. I don't know if I can do that, she hesitated. Why not? Having second thoughts. I taunted. Looks like you really do love him. No, she said quickly. I'm afraid he'll hurt me. Don't worry. I'll protect you, I said, stroking her hair. As long as you do this for me, we still have a chance. She bit her lip, thinking it over. Okay, I'll do it. Good girl, I said, kissing her on the forehead. Now go get changed. We're going out to dinner. She managed a tearful smile. Really? Yes. To celebrate our new beginning. As I watched her hurry off to the bedroom, a cold, predatory smile spread across my face. Chloe, you poor, naive fool. Did you really think I'd ever forgive you? This show is just getting started. That evening, I took her to the restaurant where we had our first date. She was visibly on edge, choosing her words carefully. Ethan, you ordered all my favorite dishes. Did I? I'd forgotten, I said flatly. Her face fell. I'm sorry. Stop apologizing, I said, putting some food on her plate. Just eat. She looked like she was about to cry from gratitude. You're still so good to me. I just smiled. After dinner, we walked along the waterfront. Remember this place? She asked, taking my arm, her eyes full of emotion. This is where we had our first kiss. I remember, I said, staring out at the dark water. The moon was beautiful that night. Ethan, she whispered, standing on her toes to kiss me. I turned my head away. Let's focus on dealing with Jackson first. She deflated, her arms dropping to her sides. Okay. By the way, I said, looking at her, has he contacted you? Yes, she said, biting her lip. He want me to move in with him. Then you should go. What? She looked at me in shock. It'll make it easier for you to gather evidence, I said calmly. Don't worry. I trust you. She threw her arms around me, burying her face in my chest. Ethan, you're the only one who's ever been this good to me. I patted her back. We're husband and wife, Chloe. We're a team. On the drive home, she fell asleep with her head on my shoulder. Looking at her peaceful face, I was flooded with memories. Our first meeting, our first date, our first kiss. I once believed those beautiful moments would last forever. But some things can't be forgiven. Some wounds never heal. Back at the apartment, she was full of plans. Honey, after this is all over, can we redecorate the house? I nodded absently. Sure. And can we have a baby? She whispered in my ear. I want to have a baby with you. I gently pushed her away. Let's just get through this first. But I want one now, she purred, trying to be seductive. I looked her straight in the eye. Chloe, do you have any idea what the price of betrayal is? She froze. What? Nothing, I said, shaking my head. Get some sleep. Once she was asleep, I sent a text to Mike. It's time. His reply came instantly. Everything is in place. Vanguard Corp is announcing their partnership with Chloe's firm in a press release tomorrow morning. And Jackson, he's already been tipped off. He's furious. I smirked. Perfect. The next morning, when Chloe saw the news, she dropped her phone. What? How did this happen? A surprise, I said simply. I pulled some strings to get you the project. But Jackson, what about him? I said, putting my arms around her. You have me now. She bit her lip. He just called. He wants me to come to his office. Immediately. Then go, I said, kissing her forehead. And don't forget to get that evidence. As she rushed out the door, I called Howard Vance. Is everything ready? All according to plan, Vance said. But Mr. Cole, are you sure Ms. Miller won't tip him off? I laughed. She won't. Right now, she thinks I still love her. And more importantly, she's terrified of the evidence I already have on her. I hung up and turned my laptop. On the screen was a live feed from the security camera I'd had installed in Jackson's office. They were already arguing. What the hell is this? Jackson yelled, slamming a file on his desk. I thought you had Ethan under control. I don't know what happened. Chloe cried. He negotiated the deal himself. Useless, Jackson shouted, striking her across the face. Is this all you're good for? I watched Chloe crumble to the floor, clutching her cheek, and a cold smile touched my lips. She deserved it, and this was only the beginning. Jackson Reed, Chloe Miller, you just wait. This is going to be a spectacular finale. I watched the feed for a few more minutes, then dialed another number. Mr. Cole, a respectful voice answered. It's time. Understood. I hung up, leaned back in my chair, and lit a cigarette. Through the haze of smoke, I saw her face again, the way it was when we first met. I once thought she was my angel. Now I knew she was just a devil in disguise. But that was fine, because I was about to show her that the devils in Hell Know a Thing were too about torture. My phone buzzed. A text from Chloe. Ethan, I got pictures of Jackson with another woman. They're at a hotel. I texted back. Good work. I'll reward you personally tonight when you get home. I put the phone down and sneered. Chloe, did you really think I'd use something as cheap as an affair? You are so naive. What I want is to make you wish you were never born. Chloe came home late that night. I'm sorry, Ethan. Jackson wouldn't let me leave, she said, her voice trembling. It's okay, I said, pretending not to see the fresh bruises on her neck. Did you get anything? She excitedly pulled out her phone. Look, these are all pictures of him with other women, and I got a recording of him making a shady deal. I took the phone and glanced through the files. It was all superficial blackmail material, nothing that could truly destroy him. But I put on a show. Excellent work. She moved closer, rubbing against me like a cat. You said you'd reward me. I wrapped my arms around her. Of course. That night, we were tangled in the sheets until dawn. I could smell Jackson's cologne on her skin, but I forced it down. It wasn't time yet, but it would be soon. Very soon. You will both understand the price of betraying me. The next morning, the financial world was rocked by breaking news. Reed Industries under investigation for massive financial fraud, executives fleeing the country. The news sent shockwaves through the market. Reed Industries stock plummeted into a freefall, and investors were panicking. My phone started ringing off the hook. It was Jackson. I watched his name flash on the screen and let out a cold chuckle. Finally feeling the heat, I answered the call. Jackson's voice was a furious roar. Ethan, did you do this? Mr. Reed, you wound me, I said casually. I'm just a humble tech director. What could I possibly do? Don't play dumb with me, he screamed. The Vanguard deal. That was you too, wasn't it? Now, Jackson, let's not make baseless accusations, I said, lighting a cigarette. You're a powerful man. If you have proof, I'm sure you'll find it. Ethan, he seethed. Don't get cocky. I swear to God, you're finished. Am I? I laughed. We'll see about that. I hung up and turned back to my laptop. The stock chart for Reed Industries was a vertical red line, plunging straight down. Phase 1 was a success. Just then, Chloe called. Ethan, Jackson's lost his mind, she cried, her voice choked with panic. He said he's going to kill you. Don't be afraid, I soothed. I'm here, but he's terrifying. He hit me again. Where are you? I'll come get you. His office. Stay there. I'm on my way. I hung up and texted Mike. Are the reporters in place? They're all waiting outside the building. Just give the signal. Perfect. I drove to the Reed Industries tower. The entrance was already swarmed with reporters and camera crews, a chaotic sea of flashing lights. I walked straight to the elevator. The security guards recognized me and let me pass without question. After all, I was still a business partner. When I reached Jackson's office, I could hear shouting from inside. You bitch, this was all your fault, wasn't it? No, I swear it wasn't me. Crash. The sound of something shattering. I pushed the door open. Chloe was huddled in a corner, a bright red handprint on her cheek. Jackson was standing over her, holding a heavy glass vase, ready to bring it down. Jackson, I said, my voice cold as ice. Hitting women now, that's a new low, even for you. He spun around, his eyes wild and bloodshot. Ethan, let her go, I said, taking a step forward. Ah, he sneered. What's this? Still have a soft spot for your cheating wife. Jackson, we're all adults here, I said with a thin smile. There's no need for this drama. Why are you smiling? He screamed, his voice cracking. You ruined me. I ruined you. I walked over to Chloe and pulled her to her feet. Are you sure you didn't ruin yourself, Jackson? He looked confused. What are you talking about? Financial fraud, bribing public officials, maintaining illegal slush funds. I counted off on my fingers. Should I go on? The color drained from his face. How? How do you know about that? Did you think you were the only one who knows how to play dirty? I said, putting a protective arm around Chloe. You shouldn't have touched what was mine. He pointed at Chloe with a vicious laugh. You did all this for this worthless tramp. He didn't finish the sentence. My fist connected with his jaw. He stumbled backward, crashing into a coffee table. A stack of photos scattered across the floor. They were all explicit pictures of him with other women. Where? Where did you get these? He stammered, his eyes wide with terror. Now, Jackson, who do you think I should send these to? I said, squatting down to pick one up. The mayor's wife? Or maybe the deputy commissioner's daughter? His face went ashen. Ethan, what do you want? Simple, I said, looking him straight in the eye. Disappear from my life. Never, he snarled. You think this is enough to take me down? You're more naive than I thought. Am I? I took out my phone. Then let's watch this. I played a video. It was a recording of Jackson in a private meeting with a city official. The permits for the new development are all taken care of, Jackson was saying. And the books have been cooked so well, no one will ever find a thing. The official laughed. You always were a smart man, Jackson. It's my pleasure. By the way, did your wife enjoy the necklace? Jackson's face grew paler with every word. You were spying on you? I smiled. Isn't that your favorite move, Jackson? He lunged for my phone. I sidestepped, and he fell to the floor. Security! Get security in here, he screamed. No one came. Don't bother, I said calmly. Your head of security is currently speaking with federal investigators. He collapsed in a heap on the floor. What do you want from me? I told you. Disappear. Fine. He gritted his teeth. I'll leave. I'll go right now. No, I said, shaking my head. It's too late for that. With that, I hit send on my phone. The video, along with a detailed file of evidence, was now in the hands of every major news outlet in the city. He scrambled to his feet. I'll kill you. Just then, the office doors swung open. A team of police officers walked in. Mr. Jackson Reed, you're under arrest for bribery, conspiracy, and financial fraud. Please come with us. All the fight went out of him. He sank to the floor, the broken man. It's over. It's all over. As the police led Jackson away, the entire lobby was a media circus. Flashes went off like a lightning storm. Mr. Reed, do you have a comment on the fraud allegations? Is it true you had improper relationships with multiple city officials? Sources claim you've embezzled millions. Can you respond? Jackson kept his head down, silent, as the police pushed him through the crowd and into a car. The once mighty titan of finance was now just another perp. Chloe stood beside me, clutching my arm. "Ethan, let's go home," I said, patting her hand. In the car, she couldn't stop talking. "Ethan, you were amazing. I knew you could take care of him." I stared at the road ahead. "Is that so?" "Yes," she said, leaning her head on my shoulder. "Jackson is a monster. I couldn't stand him. So, he really did threaten you?" "Of course," she nodded vigorously. "Like I told you, he threatened to ruin my company." "I see," I said thoughtfully. "And you were forced into the wedding, too?" "Absolutely," she said, playfully punching my arm. "My heart has only ever belonged to you." "Then what about these?" I handed her my phone. On the screen were the photos. Her and Jackson at restaurants, at clubs, in a hotel suite. In every single photo, she looked deliriously happy. This is, she stammered, unable to form a sentence. "And this," I played the recording. Chloe's voice. "What are you worried about?" "That idiot Ethan still thinks I'm your victim." Jackson's voice. "You little actress, you're good." Chloe's voice, purring. "I'm only doing this for you, darling. As soon as we get his shares, we can run away together." The color drained from Chloe's face. "Ethan, I can explain." "Explain what?" I sneered. "Explain how you were cheating on me, or explain how you were plotting to steal from me." "No, I really do love you," she cried, grabbing my hand. I got confused." "Confused?" I yanked my hand away. "Does getting confused last for 6 months?" She threw her arms around me. "Ethan, I was wrong. I know I was wrong. Please forgive me." I pulled the car over. "Get out." "No." She clung to me desperately. "I'm not getting out." I pried her hands off me. "Chloe, did you honestly think I would forgive you?" "You promised you'd love me forever," she sobbed. "You promised." I did, I nodded, "but that was before you betrayed me." "Just give me one more chance," she begged, kneeling on the car seat. "I'll do anything." "Anything?" I laughed. "Then why did you help me take down Jackson?" She froze. "What? What do you mean?" "It's simple," I said, pulling a file from my briefcase. "Take a look at this." It was a bank statement. It clearly documented over $1 million in transfers from Jackson to her over the last 6 months. This money. You betrayed me for money." "No," she shook her head. I really do love you." "Love me?" I scoffed. "So you helped me take down your golden goose." You thought I wouldn't figure it out." I stared her down. "You were playing both sides. If Jackson won, you'd run away with him. If I won, you'd come crawling back to me." Her face was white as a sheet. How did you know?" "Chloe," I said, shaking my head. "You're so naive. From the day you first met him, I had you both under surveillance. You thought you could fool me. Every call, every text, every meeting. I know everything. I was just waiting for the right moment to burn you both to the ground." She sank back into the seat. "So, you were using me?" "Yes," I admitted without hesitation. "Just like you were using me." You're a monster." "Am I?" I laughed. "When you were betraying me, did you ever stop to think about how I felt?" She suddenly became calm, her eyes turning hard. "You're not going to let me go, are you?" "Smart girl," I said, producing the divorce papers. "Sign them. Now." "Why should I?" she shrieked. "I helped you build your life. I gave you years. You think I'm going to walk away with nothing?" "Gave me years." I sneered. "You mean the years you spent in Jackson's bed?" She seethed. "Ethan, you won't win. I'm not signing." "Really?" I held up my phone. "Then I guess I'll have to upload these videos online." "You wouldn't dare." "Try me," I said, my thumb hovering over the post button. "I guarantee you'll be famous worldwide in an hour." She was trembling. You said you loved me." "I did," I said, looking at her one last time. "But that was a long time ago." She slumped in defeat. "Give me a pen." After she signed, I unlocked the doors. "Get out." "That's it," she said, her voice filled with disbelief. "You could be that cruel." "Cruel?" I laughed. "Chloe, don't flatter yourself." She suddenly lunged at me, trying to kiss me. "Ethan, don't make me go. I know I was wrong." I pushed her away. "You disgust me." Her eyes filled with hate. "Ethan Cole, you will regret this." "Regret it?" I started the car. Better to regret this than to live with a traitor. I watched her shrink in the rearview mirror until she was gone. I let out a long, slow breath. It was finally over. Back at the apartment, I sat alone on the sofa and lit a cigarette. In the smoke, I saw flashes of our life together. Our first meeting, our first date, our first kiss. All those memories were now tainted, twisted into something ugly. I sent a text to Mike. "It's done." "What's next?" he replied. "One last thing." I hung up, opened my laptop, and composed an email. The recipients were all the major news outlets and gossip blogs. The contents were all the evidence I had on Jackson and Chloe. The videos, the photos, the recordings. Everything. The moment I clicked send, I knew their fantasy was officially over. Jackson was going to prison for a very long time. Chloe's reputation was destroyed forever. And I was finally free to start over. Ping. My phone buzzed. It was one last text from Chloe. "Ethan, I hate you." I smiled and typed back. "I know. You're welcome."